ET North. Good morning, Greylock. The moon's still out. It's built beginning in 1931. Good morning. We're waiting for the sun to rise here on top of Mount Greylock. The sun just set 9 hours ago. It's already back. Bascom Lodge and the temperature reading right now under 40. This was outside. I just came in from outside. Time is now 6 a.m. We warmed up inside. There's the sun. We're ready to hike out. Appalachian Trail north as we start to descend down from the summit of Greylock. Another good view. Pretty good stay at Bascom Lodge, right? We stayed in the bunkhouse.
Yes, I liked it. I don't know if I would recommend it though.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see the sunset, sunrise. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it either. It's a little pricey. The bunkhouse is reasonable, but dinner's pricey. But we got to see sunset and sunrise from Greylock. Nice view as we're descending from Greylock here. First. Descending down Greylock. Good morning. Today is day 99. Here on the Appalachian Trail. We're hiking with Frisell and Nichols. Welcome to the Appalachian Trail. We are Stick the Eagle and we are hiking northbound from Springer Mountain, Georgia to Katahdin, Maine. I'm so glad you are here today for today's adventure. If you are back, welcome back. And if you have not been here before, glad you're here and I hope you enjoy following along on today's adventures on day 99 on the Appalachian Trail. Let's keep hiking northbound. We are entering Vermont today, and Professor Frizzle has a lesson for us.
Yes, I'm now Professor Frizzle, but I didn't learn this till I was like 20 years old, so maybe others are out there that don't know, but Vermont is the Green Mountain State, and Vermont means Green Mountain, Vermont in French, which I did not realize, but it's pretty cool once you know.
Yeah. And you know what? I just learned that this morning. Mount Williams, 2953. There's a mountain or two that you can see. There's the windmills. Look at this beautiful pine forest. Nichols and Frizzle are down there. You know, all three of us were together when I was leading the way up to Mount Williams from Mount Greylock. And then they took the lead at Mount Williams, and I've been left behind. There's a deer or something in the woods. I don't mind. I like hiking in the woods alone. But it's just funny how I can't keep up with their pace anymore. I used to be able to keep up with Frizzle and Nichols. And now they've just gotten so much faster and I haven't. But we're going down this rocky slope here. So that's what it is. I'd rather take my time and make sure I'm careful. Plus I'm talking to you guys. First I went to school somewhere in Williamstown. She has some connections there. So she plans on going in there to town. Nichols wants to as well to get some more town food. I think I'm gonna press on instead, since they're gonna be waiting around for a shuttle that's not coming till 10, and we're already getting down the hill and it's only 7 o'clock. So I don't wanna be waiting around for a shuttle that long and then spending a bunch of time walking around the city, which Frizzle wants to do, which is fine because she has a lot of nostalgia and friends to meet there. But I'm not a city person. I prefer just walking in the mountains, and I can just take my own pace and go slow and have them catch up later. You know, when Frizzle was in school, she also trail ran up to Mount Greylock, so I guess she knows this trail pretty well. Currently it's 41 degrees. It was 38 at sunrise on Mount Greylock. So now we're at 41. I did delayer along with the Frizzle up on the mountain when we started moving, and I'm still warm because I'm moving. I know if I stop, I'm putting my puffy back on now. I do have this buff out. I haven't pulled this buff out in, gosh, a month at least probably. It was a gift from MP3 on my birthday, so thank you again. By the way, today is the last day of May, and it will be the day we enter Vermont and cross 600 miles. I am super excited that we got to enjoy Greylock together, and last night and this morning. It is really fun hanging out with them, even if I'm not hiking with them much over the course of the day. I thoroughly enjoy it. I have like a low battery, I need to plug my phone in. Thoroughly enjoy spending time with them. So it's always nice to be near friends on trail. The birds are singing. There's a lovely pine forest right here. Good morning, Appalachian Trail. We'll reach the Moneybrook Trail where we're clearing shelter area. It's 0.3 up, Moneybrook Falls 1.1. We're going to keep following the AT. There we go, Appalachian Trail, Maine and Georgia. The sign said Mount Prospect View. I didn't know it'd be going up this much hill after that sign. But we've got another view here. You can see 3 states from here, according to Professor Frizzle. That's the ridgeline of New York, roughly. New York's off in the distance there. I guess that might be Catskills or Adirondacks.
Somewhere over
Adirondacks.
there is like the tri-state.
And then Vermont is that way. So we're looking right at the tri-state marker, and I think that's the town of Williamstown, probably. I'm definitely getting hungry. It's after 7:30 and Nichols and Frisk all talking about going to town and getting food. I'm tempted. I might just see if there's a spot close to trail. We'll see. The lodge, Bascom Lodge, not worth the price. The bunkhouse was like $50 for a bunk in the bunkhouse. And the private rooms were like $200. Wow. It was Fristle's idea. We did like the idea, but we wouldn't do it again. And the meal itself, they had a dinner and they were like, well, do you want a side with that? Like a side salad? I'm like, sure. They charged $12 for the side salad. It wasn't even that big. We all feel like we were a little ripped off there. And even when we went to pay, the cashier was like, hold on, let me see how much I'm supposed to charge for this. Like, they didn't even know. So they're still getting things organized. It did just open on Memorial Day weekend. So it seems like there's a lot of brand new staff who are still trying to figure it out. Would not recommend it. Just see Greylock and then go down to the shelter instead. The dinner was not even hiker portioned either. We tried to fill up on bread by asking for more bread, more bread, more bread. And it was not hiker portioned. We were still hungry afterwards. Welcome to Williamstown, Massachusetts. We will be going up there. And that is the Massachusetts-Vermont border in 4 miles. The Greylock School. This is actually North Adams, Massachusetts. Williamstown is a little bit further west. There's the blaze. We have to cross the road and then cross the Hoosick River. Here's the Hoosick River. Look at that scenery. We'll get to cross over that railroad track onto Massachusetts Avenue. There's our blazes. Signify a turn in the trail. Follow this road for a little bit. It's the Appalachian Trail. It goes that way into someone's driveway. But we're gonna go a little farther because we want to check out Renee's Diner, where Frissel and Nichols currently are. Renee's Diner is a half-mile road walk, 0.5, off trail. Renee's Diner, 2009. Moment here at Renee's Diner. Good food, good company, good weather.
We got up early this morning, so breakfast.
Second breakfast. Here's breakfast, as well as French toast. Nichols is working on his food.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're not going to make it just for breakfast.
We added a breakfast sandwich and the French toast, our meal. Everything is completed. Well, that is what we climbed down this morning. All right, here's where the Appalachian Trail literally goes up someone's driveway. AT North. There's a blaze. You go straight. Ah, it says AT hikers, help yourself to the water. There it is, 1,600 miles on the Appalachian Trail. Yay! Vermont, Massachusetts state line, 3.8. Wow. Look at this lovely waterfall right here. Love the sound of water. We have a 1,700 foot climb ahead of us to the border. Frizzle and Nichols went to Williamstown to do some more walking around the city. Not really a city, it's a town. I prefer to be out here in nature. Just slowly taking my time, meandering, listening to the sounds of nature. This bad weather trail is not even marked on far out, so that's really interesting. I wonder why we need a bad weather trail. All right, I definitely know that bad weather trails are needed for bad weather, for safety reasons. I just wasn't expecting exposed ridgeline today. Wow, that looks steep. Wow, Massachusetts, are you preparing us for the whites? Well, I think I learned why we need an exposed or bad weather trail, because it's starting to get exposed up here. What a nice view that is. There's the other end of the bad weather trail. They probably made it because those rocks get slick if they're too wet. And it's the Pine Cobble Trail. Vermont is 1.3. Just 1.3. Well, I was just walking and a day hiker came up and said, AT or long trail? And I'm like, huh, first time I've been asked that question, AT. And that might be a question that gets asked a few times in the upcoming week. Did you know that the Long Trail is the oldest trail? That was the inspiration for the Appalachian Trail. The Long Trail existed in Vermont, and Benton Mackay was like, it'd be really cool if this extended all of the Appalachian Mountains, and they made it happen. Class of '98 trail. Did they have like their own trail? It's blue blaze. I really can't believe I'm about to finish Massachusetts. This is like a dream that I never thought would come true. And I've reached Vermont. I keep like peeking around the corner every time I run a bend. It's like, do I see it yet? Do I see the sign yet? I have to go over this last little hump to get to the border. I think I see where it is. I see it. Huh? I see it. It's the Vermont Long Trail sign. Yes. I've never been here before. I have never been here before. Welcome to Vermont. On the other side is a Welcome to Massachusetts sign with a logbook. What a journey it's been. I can't believe there are only 3 states left. I'm about to walk my first steps into Vermont, and I just can't believe I'm here. I'm so thankful to be here. I just can't believe I'm here. All that's behind me and just 3 states left. All that's behind us and 3 states for us to walk. Couple of cookies to celebrate the sweetness of Vermont. Got it some trail magic a little bit ago. The Vermont Long Trail, a footpath in the wilderness. 273 miles north to Canada. Wow. Welcome to Vermont. There's the options. Long Trail North and Appalachian Trail North. Wow. Seth Warner or Congdon. Probably Congdon in 10. It's currently 1:30 as I enter Vermont. I just was getting swarmed by black flies. So I put my deep bug spray on, and that's helping right now. Now we're going downhill on the other side of the ridge where the Vermont-Massachusetts border is. I'm a little sad to leave Massachusetts behind because that's been my favorite state so far. I really enjoyed it. The shelters are nice, the wilderness is nice, but I'm sure Vermont will be nice too. Wow, you can tell that this was a muddy section. People have walked all over it, trying to avoid it. And it's not just the rocks. Why wouldn't people just walk on the rocks? This place is a little bit muddy. That's one big rock out here in the middle of nowhere. I've found so far that the muddy sections are not too bad. There's a lot of places in the muddy sections where you can see footprints that are starting to harden, where people did sink in the mud, but the ground is starting to de-moisturize a little bit, so I can mostly step on it. This is what Vermont does to deal with the mud problem. They place big boulders on the trail so that you step on that instead of directly in the mud. At least try to. Look at all those big boulders. Yeah, this is a woods road that is not passable. according to people with RAV4s that have commented and said, nope, it's not passable even in a RAV4. There we go, Vermont. You figured out the usefulness of bog boards. It helped the terrain quite a bit. And it allows me to look up a little bit more and just appreciate the natural beauty of this fir forest. I had to check to see if it was fir or pine. So your tip today, a little bit late in coming. It's 3 o'clock, but I took a break a little while ago because my feet were hurting. My feet have still been hurting a little bit, especially the balls of my feet. I've realized now that I have holes in my Injinji liners right at the balls of my feet. So I think that's a little bit of what the issue is, more so than problems with my old shoes. So at my earliest convenience, I'm going to look for an opportunity to get a new pair of Injinji liners. But while I can't yet, because I just realized that was an issue, when your feet are hurting, just take your shoes and your socks off and air them out a little bit. Sit down on a rock and air out your feet. That worked wonders for me, and now I feel relatively fresh. They're still gonna hurt a little bit, but if I need to every 5 miles or so, just sit down on a rock for a half hour and air out my feet, I'm gonna do that. And I suggest it will work for you as well. So, even if your feet aren't hurting, airing out your feet can work wonders. So do it every once in a while when you're hiking. Look at that nice road, county road. It recently was graded. And come and say this one's very passable. You can go on up. These mountains are pretty green. Oh hey, it's the Green Mountains. Did you know that's what Vermont means? Green Mountains. That was from Frisso's lesson earlier today. This is Vermont. Green Mountains of Vermont. This is a type of mountain views I've been missing since North Carolina. I'm also drying out my tent right now. It's impossible to lay out flat, so I've just been holding one corner so it doesn't blow away. But when the wind catches it, it flaps, and it's been drying. All right, amazing view. It really is an amazing view. I'm loving Vermont a little bit more. But it's really windy and breezy. Although it's a nice day and sunny, it dried out my tent real fast while I was holding onto it. Especially when the wind took it and got inside it. And I was just holding my tent with 2 hands. It dried out so nicely. So thank you, sun and wind, for doing your work well. That's a brand new shelter sign. That's the first shelter in Vermont. It's 5 o'clock and the next shelter's in 3 miles, so I'm going to push on to the next 3 miles. It's not hard, I tell you so. There's just a lot of complicated terrain with these random roots and rocks strewn all about. Look how beautiful this is. It just looks so remote up here in Vermont. I love it. We love it. It's slower going, but there's no rush. You know something? Vermont is not easy so far. It is challenging. It has challenging terrain. It's had a few small ups and downs with lots of rocks and roots. But I'm loving the remoteness. It's not like New York and Connecticut where those ups and downs were just there because there was a hill. It's just because it's remote and there's nothing else here, and I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I'm loving that about Vermont. I'm also liking that even amid all the ups and downs, I don't feel pressured by a clock or time or anything. And today, I'm not trying to catch up to anybody because Frizzle and Nichols are behind me since they went to town and I didn't. So I'm here on my own, choosing my own schedule, choosing when I want to stop, which is at the shelter coming up, and I have no pressure. So I can go as slow or as fast as I want and just enjoy the remoteness here and what comes with the terrain. Hi y'all, this is a little muddy over here. Just a little bit. Fancy that. It's Consultation Peak. 2,800 feet, and there looks like there's even a little campsite over here. This is a nice remote campsite. I like it. I would camp here. Should I camp here? Well, the shelter's only 2 miles away, and it's 6 o'clock. So I'll probably be there around 7-ish. May as well. That's a big tree. We've come out on another beautiful pond. On another beautiful remote pond. Whoa. I don't know if I got that on camera, but that duck just landed in the water. Wow. Hi, duck. This is so beautiful. It's just so peaceful out here. Look at this winding river. We have made it to the Condon shelter. There are plenty of people here in tents and hammocks, and there's one other person in the shelter. So I will shelter tonight. Oh, Nichols is here. Wow, Nichols. So we have ended day 99 here on the Appalachian Trail. And if you would like to follow along for more AT content, I invite you to subscribe if you have not done so already. And if you want to follow along for some live content, you may follow along on my Instagram account, same handle, @StickTheEagle. For now, remember to embrace the journey and happy trails. Secret end credit scene of Nichols eating his leftover dinner. And guess who else showed up? Frizzle! I was just doing my outro and Nichols showed up, and then I came over here and saw Frizzle, and I was so excited because I was not expecting that. So we're still together. Yippee.